Hi, this is Wayne from the Better Dating Academy. I regularly get messages from people via email, via text, face to face, where they're struggling with certain aspects of their dating and their relationships, and I like to give them some clarity so that they can move forward and overcome these obstacles. And one that I received recently was someone asking me the difference between when you meet someone, are you falling in love with the feelings that they give you, or are you falling in love with the person? And I answered them like this. When you first meet someone, your body secretes all these feel-good hormones, dopamine, endorphins, all these sorts of things where you get this little rush being around that person. And what that does is it creates this little bubble around you and you're in this honeymoon period, which is what some people call it. Now, this is perfectly natural, it's normal, and it's part of the process. So the initial meeting is these feel-good hormones. It's where the rest of the world doesn't exist. You get almost obsessed with each other. You're always thinking about each other, wondering what the other person's doing. You're finding out about them. You're exploring them. And this honeymoon period can last anywhere from a month to 2 years. So in that time, we tend to only focus on their good points. Now, that's not a bad thing, because if we saw everyone as complete and we saw everything that came with them initially, we probably wouldn't be attracted to them, therefore we wouldn't mate with them, therefore we wouldn't propagate the species, and we'd die out within a few generations. So we only see the good things about them. We tend to ignore and repress the bad, so-called bad points, and when we get to the end of this honeymoon period and the bubble bursts and we start to see the things that we ignored at the start, this is where we can either fall in love with the person, because we then start to accept them as whole and complete, and we start to see them for who they really are, and that's where the relationship develops real depth. Or we go, oh, I don't actually love the person. I love the feelings that I got, all the buzz and the joy and the connection. So they go out and find someone else, and then they just keep repeating this pattern over and over again. When they get to this point, bubble bursts, find someone new. So a healthy relationship goes through this honeymoon period because that's fun. We all like being in there. But during that time, they build up the connection, the depth. They explore each other, their matching values, the things that you have in common, the hobbies, the interests, the goals, and that sort of thing are built upon and explored and connected. But not only that, you also build the so-called bad things, the things that would annoy you and frustrate you and cause conflict. So it's also coming with all of that. So if you, in the honeymoon period, build up these so-called negative parts, then when you bubble burst, you've got this strong relationship and you can fall in love with a person. And understanding that journey, getting from the initial attraction through to the deep relationship that brings out the best in both of you, regardless of how much conflict you may have. Hopefully you don't have a lot, but you should have some. A quality relationship has to have this conflict. And it's not a bad thing. It's how you explore. It's how you grow. It's how you become better people. So understanding that is vital for creating that relationship you've always wanted. So for this person, I said to him, you actually have both, but you have one consciously, and then unconsciously, or actually unconsciously, you have the attraction, and then consciously you should be building to when that bubble bursts so that you can have the other one. So you need both. And you can have them both at the same time, but by the time you get to here, where the bubble bursts, you lose some of that, because a good relationship will keep those fun bits, the interesting parts. So that's what we're aiming for. So they then understood when they went out and they were dating people, that's what they were doing. That was the journey they had to map ahead of themselves, so they knew where they were going and where they wanted to end up with relationship-wise. So if you want to find out more, explore my website. I've got heaps of free resources there, free reports and stuff like that to explain this journey more and more. I've also got a free 7-day dating challenge so you can go out and get better with your dating. so you can find that person you've always wanted. And then you too can be in a relationship like myself and many of my clients where we're loved and the relationship actually serves us. So go and explore those resources, watch the rest of these videos, find out more and more, because I want everyone to be in a relationship like I've got, which is friggin' awesome if I do say so myself. Okay, that's it for today. I hope that answer gave you some clarity. Take it easy. We'll catch you on the next one and look after yourselves. Bye.